Hey everybody, it's the Doctor here with Typical Manga Fan, and this episode of the Typical Manga Review is going to be One Piece, Chapter 802, Zou. And we have a nice little cover page on here again, nice little cherry blossom page with them with Luffy, Zoro, Nami, Sanji, and Usopp and Chopper, and a couple of samurai hippos.
Yeah.
And we're back at sea with the Straw Hats and the Barto Club and the Mr. Luffy Senpai. There's pretty much giant hail crashing down on the ship. And while everything's kind of going through here, it turns out the Barto Club are horrific sailors.
Oh my gosh, it's actually kind of funny. It is. How do you have someone? How did they get this far? I mean, we'll explain how they got this far.
Yeah, apparently they've got a very knowledgeable. One of them has a very knowledgeable grandmother. Why
don't they just? It's actually kind of amazing how she can do this over the phone. Because you know how hard it is to direct someone over the phone?
Yes. That was my job for the last 5 years, remember?
Yeah, it's really. I know, that's why I said it. But it's really hard, isn't it? It's like.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, especially if you have something to kind of reference with, then fine. But yeah. Anyway, I do like Goofy's directing. You're like, oh, that's it. We're screwed. Nami, save us.
Oh my god. Oh yeah, they do. No, they don't have Nami. Yeah. Yeah. So.
No, Robin just finds us hilarious.
Yeah, Robin's always.
Yeah, but they've got a few. They get through a few obstacles in here, including a sea king. Looks to be like some kind of sea cliff. More storms, and we cut over to Marine HQ, where we get Marine HQ Admiral Kizaru. We haven't seen him for a while.
Yeah. And then they talk about. We do see it in the opening for One Piece, by the way. But
well, like in story.
Oh yeah, in story. I just want to point that out.
I just realized. You see those arches right above the Marine base? Those are the seagull wings that are part of their logo.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I see that. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, like apparently we're finally getting ourselves introduced to the seventh warlord of the sea, Edward Weeble.
I was like, what the hell? The name.
I kind of. Because it's such a common name for us, I forget that that's actually like a surname in the One Piece world because it goes first.
Yeah, so it was so Whitebeard's actually like in westernized name would be Newgate Edward. That sounds weird.
It does, but that's they don't use it that way, so it's perfectly fine.
Well, it's also saying it's weird. Think of Luffy D Monkey. What the hell is that?
I think that's just because we're so used to it the other way. But yeah, you're right. And then a side note before we get into it, like I wonder if when we get to Viz, if they're going to call him Weevil with a V, like V as in like the bug. I don't know. I'm kind of curious to see if that'll end up that way. Anyway, this guy's been busy because he's apparently been taking down allies and commanders of Whitebeard, of the original Whitebeard.
And his former bounty is
well, we're not there yet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, basically, like he claims to be the biological son of Whitebeard, and the Marine that Kizaru's talking to is dubious about the claim. Like he thinks they don't know if it's actually a valid claim or not. But at the same time, Kizaru points out that whether it's true or not is secondary. The guy is pretty much effective. In fact, he pretty much just like destroyed an entire town or island because he was taking out one of Whitebeard's pirates over some petty argument. That told approximately 600, and we don't even know how many of those are civilians versus pirates.
People die?
Only if they're unnamed.
Only if they're named, and apparently if they're Whitebeards, part of Whitebeard's crew.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, like I said, because of his raw power, like his legitimacy is pretty much secondary there.
Yeah.
And like we come into Weeble himself, and he's pretty much like a runny-nosed little mama's boy.
Yeah. And
here we learned that his former bounties, you were about to say 480 million berries.
Yeah, Luffy just got higher than that, so this is actually kind of insane. Like they keep upping the Shichibukai. I kind of wish they don't add more though, because it's kind of like we got the 4 emperors, and then we got this guy to deal with.
Well,
I hope in the end, in the admirals. I mean, I think we have enough players in the field. I'm okay with this guy, but I just no more. Like if the guy's defeated, I don't want to see another 600,000 600 million bounty guy. You know.
Yeah, I think at this point we're fine as far as the warlords go, because like one of the threads I was following on this subject, not Arlong Park, but TV Tropes, I think it was, points out that the whole warlord system may be out the window in the near future. Given the whole thing with Fujitora and Doflamingo.
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad for Hancock then.
Well, it depends what they decide to do about that, but yeah.
Yeah.
And apparently, like according to the manga, I mean, he talks with sort of a runny nose, stuffed up nose way, so he's calling himself White Beer. Like even his beer is white.
Yeah, you know what I think? Here's the thing, though. It's rather interesting. They actually pointed out that it's a self-proclaimed title, a name.
Yeah.
That it's a, so it's actually kind of interesting. Like, do you think he's lying, or do you think it's?
Is he lying?
No. But his mom. Do you think his mom's the one that's doing it? Because it's obviously his mom. It's kind of tricky.
You know what? At first, that's kind of the thing. At first, I thought that this was so. This was obviously false. But you know what? I'm starting to wonder if it's so blatantly false that it might just end up being true.
Yeah.
Like giving it so obviously a fake claim that maybe there's actually something to it.
Yeah.
And at any point here is like at the thing with the thing with Whitebeard Jr. and it's here like Ms. Baskin is apparently her name. Like apparently the name also means penalty or fine. Like she's more concerned about profit. She's going after like Whitebeard's crew apparently more for the bounty and money potential than anything else. Well, Junior actually wants to go after Blackbeard, the person he believes killed his father.
I like it's the kind of interesting they pointed out what she calls her son, my little treasure. They didn't put that in apostrophe.
Yep. Of course, they're also doing it with Whitebeard, but at the same time, that is his nickname.
Yeah. But it's interesting that when she says the word treasure, it kind of shows you that she's still thinking that she's using him as she's seeing him as a money getter, rather than
Demire to his Nemu.
Yeah.
I do like this one joke, this one gag at the bottom of the page. Like, look at this. Oh, is that a mirror? No, it's a picture of Whitebeard. I could have sworn it was a mirror. Apparently, he does have enough. They think there's a resemblance enough for it to work. I guess that's why they think they can make this claim.
Yeah. But he's still hella powerful, so holy shit.
Yep. And then it's right around this point, like I said, they want to start going after these stragglers of the Whitebeard crew, including Marco and his group.
Yeah.
She's assuming that there's some kind of vast inheritance, some treasure trove of his that they want to go after. That's their goal at this point.
Yeah, well, at the very least, in the end, his goal is Blackbeard. So at least he has this. At least he's not,
That's why
there's somebody who has to watch out for him.
Yeah, he may end up changing sides somewhere along the way there. I'm sure. Like, he seems a type at this point because, like I said, that's why I'm positive he isn't lying.
Yeah. Oh no, he doesn't know what the hell he's doing.
Oh no, he's no question about that.
It's the mom that we have to worry about.
Yeah.
The mom is. It's clearly one of those. It's clearly one of those relationships where the guy doesn't. There's a small weak person who's controlling the big guy. And
yeah. Yeah. And at this point, this is when they get the newspaper that tells them about how Doflamingo's been beaten, and Baskin is pretty much thinking. He finds out that Luffy's the one who did it, and they remember that Whitebeard had an interest in Luffy during the war, so they decide if it might be worth their while to go after him, see if he has any leads that results in any leads to Marco.
All I say is, bring the F on!
Oh yeah, that's gonna be fun. Meanwhile, 1 week later on the Mr. Luffy, that's how they say it in Viz. Like they have him call him just Mr. Luffy instead of Luffy Senpai.
Yeah.
Anyway, they're stuck in a very thick fog, and apparently the Barto Club also universally gets seasick.
What? How? I don't think. How did even with the grandma's advice, there is no way they made it. Is the barrier thing like the one thing that was keeping them alive the entire time?
Quite possibly, but at the same time, you have to admit it's a sign of their toughness that they actually have been able to get this far with that level of sailing skill. That or they are insanely lucky.
Oh my gosh.
Seriously, it's like an entire crew of Luffy's. Entire crew of seasick Luffy's.
Well, I mean, what's crazy is that that Bartolomeo can probably take on if a Shichibukai or even a Yonko. Yeah. Because his barrier abilities are ridiculously strong. I mean, they're only weak when it comes to teamwork. If it's just him, then how do you beat the guy?
Yep. Yeah. And then it probably wouldn't be. There might be a level of hockey necessary to get past it, very probably, because that's their main use of hockey is to get past Devil Fruit defenses and such, or at least. But anyway, moving along here, like they're all kind of panicking. Like they mentioned a moving mountain, and Luffy obviously wants to go right for it, but Usopp's like, "No, wait, hold on, that's not why we're here." But Law points out that actually that is why they're there, very probably. I do like the quick little gag right here, where it's like Law calls him God, so he's just acting all flattered. The 2 million. Like, you're making me the 200 million man blush. And he says it right in front of Frankie. Which gets him a beating.
Anyway, so, yeah, they're seeing something in the shadows. What is that? It's a silhouette. Dun-dun-dun-dun.
Yep. And they realize that the island of Zou, like, the name is not figurative. Remember I told you before Zo means elephant?
Yeah.
That's what they've got. One
Huge elephant.
An elephant of truly torico proportions.
You know what's really amazing? That the grand line to this elephant probably just seems like.
Actually, that's one thing I wonder about. Is he actually walking on the sea floor? Like, how long are those legs?
Yeah, I know, right? It also makes me like and I'll explain later. But so there's an island on top of the elephant, and that's where everyone is apparently.
Yeah, assuming like Sanji and him got there first, which I think we're assuming that's the case at this point.
I mean, they were in a forest. They had to be there.
Yeah, because it looks like there is a forest up there, and I wonder if the whole flooding mountain thing was maybe like the elephant washing itself, maybe like taking a trunk and blowing water out.
Maybe, yeah. But anyway, so they talk about this elephant a bit, and then Law points out that there's a country in there that's gone 1,000 years without ever having any human contact, and I think we have already met one member of that tribe or country.
That little mousy girl that they found before.
Like a bear girl, to be honest with you.
Well, I don't know, she's kind of Chopper-like, but Law refers to him as the mink, or I think.
Oh my gosh, Chopper! Holy shit! If they're a race of animals, Chopper might actually find something that he might like there.
Yep. And then Luffy's like cuts down the fact that means that the elephant has apparently been alive for over 1,000 years.
Yeah.
Which definitely has some potential. I mean, I imagine Robin's going to be very excited about this if that's the case. A place that's been potentially untouched since before the Void Century.
There must have been Poneglyphs in there.
Very probably.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a very definite. I'm sure Robin will probably at least make the assumption there's a very good chance of it.
Yeah. It's also interesting. Do you think this? What do you think allowed this elephant to last? First off, it's to be huge, but another thing is to last 1,000 years.
I don't know. I mean, look at its eyes. I wonder if it even is alive. If it's or if it's like moving on its own for some other reason.
I mean, it does seem like they did point out that it does move on its own, so it's probably alive. I think the whole silhouette with the eyes thing. I think it's just to show how old it is.
Very probably. I think you're right about that. Yeah. But like I said, come to think of it, I think this is the only place other than Sandora from Skypiea that's we've seen untouched from before that time.
Yeah.
Or at least untouched by modern civilization, by the world government.
Yeah. I mean,
the Sky Island, basically, like the whole that little part of Jaya that got blasted into the sky.
I'm thinking to myself, like, I wonder what's in. I'm so curious as to what's in there. Yep. I mean, like, how are you gonna? There's the dress. We had this long ass. This weird part is that the previous 3 islands have been connected. Like, okay, we had Punk Hazard, but that was controlled by Doflamingo. That was Dressrosa, and then Dressrosa, we had 2 people going, 2 things going on at once, Dressrosa and Zoe. So the past 3 arcs have been connected in some way.
I have to admit, I am excited about this one because my primary thing I disliked about Dressrosa is that it was such a normal place. I mean, living toys notwithstanding, the whole thing about the New World is that these islands are supposed to be like even crazier than the stuff we saw on the Grand Line. But if you think about it, Punk Hazard, its condition was man-made because of Kuzan and Sakazuki. Dressrosa was pretty much normal other than the flying fist and the toys. And the latter of those were sugar. But now we have a completely bizarre, off-the-wall place in an island that is literally a gigantic moving elephant that's been around for 1,000 years, at least. So I'm excited about this.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm also wondering if Luffy's gonna finally get increase of bounty again. That's such an awesome thing to keep track of for some reason.
Yep. I'm hoping we'll see more aftermath of that, and I'm also wondering how long it will take before Luffy asks if the elephant poops. Because he's gonna do that at some point.
Well, let's make the record then. Let's see. So this is what chapter 802. Yeah, let's see how long it takes.
Yeah. Anyway, and apparently, and it's may not be easy to remember, but the samurai have an interest in this place too. Yeah, we don't know exactly what it is yet, but we do know that when they were heading to Dressrosa, that Kinemon said that was their next destination before everything else happened.
Yeah. Okay.
So they've got an interest in this place too.
I'm curious to see how far Zoa, Dressrosa, and Punk Hazard are. They're probably not that far away.
Well, like from each other, you mean?
Yeah, because they're...
Well, Punk Hazard and Dressrosa can't be far apart, because Doflamingo was able to get there within hours. Yeah. I think it was like barely I think the Straw Hats made it within a day.
Yeah.
So we know those two are pretty close to each other.
Yeah.
Because Doflamingo's able to like the web sling his way there pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Oh, and Baby 5 was introduced in Dressrosa and then showed up in Punkheiser later.
Yeah. And not to mention, but the thing with the Zoa thing is also that we had, so the ship was able to get away to the whole thing with Dressrosa happened in like what 3 days, 2 days.
All of the events, and then they left about 3 days later. So about 4 days total, and then they've been on the sea for about a week.
Okay. Okay. So they actually the other half of the crew had a really huge head start.
Yeah. Plus, there's probably one of the things with Zoe is that you can't really guess where it is. Like as Law points out at one point, because it's not actually an island, log poses don't work for finding it.
Yeah. So how they found it? They use a VV card, right?
Yes. I think there's someone or something on there has a Vivid card that's connected to the one Law has.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm assuming it's probably one of his crewmates.
Yeah, but I wonder how they found it in the first place. They just lucky.
Yeah. I don't know. Like maybe it's probable on there. I mean, there
Bear
are.
guy.
I'm
my gosh.
curious about how they can navigate what other ways there are to navigate the Grand Line without a pose.
I just realized something.
Huh.
The bear people, possibly bear people. Bear guy on his crew? Relationship?
Maybe. That could be how he's able... If Beppo is the key, that might explain how you're able to find it. Depends on how literal they take the word mink men. Like, is that just like a name for animal people? Or is it for people who are
mink?
actually
Yeah,
mink?
because... mink, because... Okay, who remembers Minerva the mink? Do you remember that one?
The only time I can remember them offhand bringing it up was during the whole Sabandi arc when they saw the paper with the race of racing by as a slave.
Okay, but I mean, do you remember watching the show? Do you ever watch a show called Animaniacs?
Oh yeah, are you thinking of Minerva?
Yeah, Minerva. I'm definitely saying Minerva, the mink. Yeah, she looks. If you think about it, her facial features look a lot like the designs of these guys. So hey, that might work.
Yeah,
it might be minks.
So it might be literal minks in that case. That's why I'm wondering how connected Beppo might be in that case.
Yeah, what's a mink classified under?
I think they're rodents. Beyond that, I couldn't say.
Yeah.
So, and Beppo's a polar bear, and he only likes girl bears. So, if you remember Amazon Lily.
Yeah. But anyway, so.
Still, I am excited with this. We've got a new side of a new island, a whole new arc, and like I said, an actual fantastical place this time versus a. Punk Hazard started out as, or what Dressrosa wasn't, so I'm happy to see how this turns out.
Yeah.
Great. Was there anything you wanted to bring up, or anything else you wanted to
No, not really.
Okay.
I just at this point, I want to see who the last admiral is. Come on.
Yeah, the Green Bull. I definitely want to see about that too. I don't know if we'll see that one this arc or next arc, but I'm sure we'll get a peek at it at some point.
No, I'm thinking. Do you think Jim is going to join the crew in chapter 1000 to be the 10th?
The rate we're going.
Because I'm thinking to myself like 1000 has to be special.
Oh yeah.
You know?
I wonder if that'll. Yeah, no kidding on there. Like it depends on how close we are to something big on here. There's definitely a lot of big stuff being built up. Like we have Kaido talking about like a big war that's going to be coming.
Maybe
we've got the Reverie with the meeting of kings.
Maybe
that's been getting built up since Fishman Island.
Maybe chapter 1000 is either when he beats an admiral or when he beats a Ryonko.
That'd be my guess on there. Something big like that would probably be the case on there.
Yeah.
Because he's already... How many warlords has he beaten now? Because he's got Crocodile, Moria...
and then he's Doflamingo. And he's gotten Hancock and Jinbei on his side.
Yeah. I'm just thinking in terms of how many he's actually beaten.
Technically Buggy.
True, but that was before he became powerful enough to be a warlord.
Yeah. But, he also has Law on his side, too. So he has, like, 4... Yeah. It's kind of funny how much. Yeah, the Shichibukai are very... we thought they were all going to be enemies. Like, nope, they're actually pretty... Some of them... One of them might even join his crew.
That reminds me. There's a thing I saw before. Like, apparently it's like some early designs Oda had for the warlords. And one of them actually looks like Weeble.
Yeah.
Like, from the back. So, yeah, there's those... It's kind of neat that he's actually finding a use for this after all there. But... Yeah. But at this point... Yeah, I think that covers everything we have for Bleach, or One Piece, rather. Sorry, I was looking at something else at the moment. That covers everything for One Piece chapter 802, Zoe. And like I said, this week we have One Piece, Bleach, and Akame Got Kill. So, and keep an eye on every Tuesday as well for more manga reviews. Meantime, take us away.
Bye!